Everyone who has a pet treats them like they're a part of their family, but they also know that the behavior of a pet can get really confusing at times. You feel like you know your pet and understand them, but do you? Sadie and Bella, two Labradors, have the most caring owner they could have ever wished for. Maureen Hatcher is a 62-year-old woman who has given her life to the Labradors and considers them her children. But when she sees what her dogs are up to against her, she is left speechless. This brings us to today's heartwarming story, which features old woman was about to lose her life, then her two giant dogs did something unbelievable, saving her. But before we start, make sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and activate the notifications bell to receive more fascinating videos. St. John's, Jacksonville is a quiet suburb in Florida, and all the neighbors know each other since it's a very small place. The crime rates have been really low in the area, and therefore nobody has ever been scared about anything. They've always felt safe. Sadie and Bella were two Labradors who were famous around the neighborhood. They were everyone's favorite and were loved by all. However, things are not always as they seem to be. The cute Labradors were going to do something that would scare the neighbors to the core. Maureen had taken care of the Labradors since they were little and has loved them unconditionally. Hatcher is a 62-year-old and lives with her grandson, Tyler. But on the day of this incident, Miss Hatcher was home alone and everything was going to change. It was a normal day and Hatcher was going about her daily routine. She had fed breakfast to Sadie and Bella and was preparing her own breakfast before going to take a shower, waiting until the water could get warm for her perfect bath. She was not aware of what was going to happen next. Alexandria lived right next to Maureen and had decided to do something different that morning. She wanted to take a break from her morning schedule and sip coffee while enjoying the view of her garden. That is when she noticed something strange. On the other hand, right after Maureen went in for her bath, her camera captured something ominous that was very strange. It seemed like the day was a menacing day where unusual and weird things were happening around the neighborhood. None of the residents of St. John's had ever felt threatened by any kind of danger in the area. No house had fences or high walls to protect them, and it still seemed perfect. But today, Alexandria wished that maybe she should have had fences around her garden. Alexandria was about to finish her coffee, feeling the light cold breeze of December, when she saw two enormous dogs come running in her garden. She couldn't understand what was wrong, but was surely scared of the frantic way the dogs were barking in. On the other side, Maureen's camera had caught Sadie and Bella come out of the house after they were barking very loudly inside the house. The footage recorded them unlocking the front door through its handle and running outside insanely. It was Sadie and Bella who had come to the garden of Alexandria and were barking in a deafening voice. "I usually am very routine, but that day I didn't do my usual," Alexandria recalled. "I was sitting on the floor drinking coffee and saw Sadie outside. Then I heard the other dog barking." Alexandria was dreading going into her garden because she was unable to make it to ask why the two dogs were behaving so strangely. She was actually afraid of them because it seemed like they had come to harm her. But it was something more than she could ever imagine that they had come to her for. Alexandria took a deep breath and decided to face the dogs and see what they were up to. She kept down her cup of coffee and ran downstairs, doubting each step that she took. If it was the right decision, or could she get hurt, or something even worse could happen. As soon as Alexandria reached her garden, the dogs started to pull on her jeans, as if to take her somewhere. This is when Alexandria realized that they were not trying to scare her, they were afraid of themselves. They had seen something unbelievable, and they wanted her to see it too. Alexandria knew that they were Maureen's pets, and she decided to take them home. But then she realized that they were themselves running towards their house, already ahead of her. And after every step they took, they looked back to check if Alexandria was still following them or not. As soon as Alexandria reached Maureen's house, she rang the doorbell. All this while, the camera was recording everything, and the world was going to witness a very unusual story. Alexandria, on the other hand, rang the bell several times, but there was no answer. With each bell that Alexandria rang, the bark of the dogs kept getting louder. She was afraid now and could not understand what could have gone wrong. Strange thoughts occurred in her mind. Why was Maureen not answering from the other side? Alexandria immediately called 911. She knew that something was majorly wrong with Maureen, and there was absolutely nothing that she could think of or do on her own to help Maureen except for calling for help. She was scared. As soon as the doctors investigated Maureen's condition, they told Alexandria that her brain was deprived of oxygen and she was unable to breathe. Had there been a delay of even a few minutes, Maureen could have lost her life. Alexandria had thought that Sadie and Bella were trying to harm her or Maureen or had hurt her in some way, but she was wrong and felt guilty after she understood what the situation was. The dogs were helping their owner, going out of their way. If it had not been for the dogs, Maureen would not have been in this world. When the brain is deprived of blood, cells die and permanent brain injury can occur. Timing is everything, Aga Abraham, an interventional neurologist, explains, and the dogs understood the importance of time. Even though Maureen had been taken to the hospital and was being treated, there was no guarantee that she was going to make it through. One of the most important factors that can lead to a good outcome for patients in these situations is to get the blood vessel open quickly and successfully, the doctor stresses. After finding the blood clot that had been the cause of the stroke with which Maureen suffered, the surgeons at Baptist Medical Center Jacksonville had cleared the clot from Maureen's body, and miraculously, she had even started gaining strength right after her surgery. And just 3 days later, she was healthy enough to be discharged from the hospital. Maureen owed her life to Sadie and Bella. They had gone out of their way, in fact, out of everyone's imagination and thinking, and had done something no one could have ever thought of. Without them, Maureen couldn't even imagine where she would have been. Maureen says tearfully, "I am blessed I don't have any residual effects, and I can attribute that to Dr. Heimer and what the staff there did for me." But she knows that the doctor's surgery, treatment, and Alexandria's help was all possible because of her dogs. "Had it not been for my dogs going and getting my neighbor, I wouldn't be here today," she said. "I had an angel across the street. I had a great rescue in the neighborhood and the hospital. By rights, I shouldn't be in the shape that I'm in. I am blessed." All the neighbors were more than impressed as to how Bella and Sadie have helped Maureen. "The next thing I knew, I was eating the floor and couldn't move, and I said to my dogs, 'I need help,'" she recalls. "Someone asked me, 'How did you train them to do that?' And I just told them, 'I didn't train them.'" Since the dogs have been more than just loving pets to Maureen, she decided to do something special for them, to make them feel that they are precious. There were presents under the tree and prime rib for dinner, and they were spoiled rotten, she said, laughing. Maureen, Sadie, and Bella's stories soon went viral on the internet, and people could not get enough of how lovely the dogs were. One person commented, "Dogs are amazingly sensitive to human emotions. They can pick up on the smallest distress signals and help. I am so happy that you have two wonderful pups that are your family to keep you safe and loved." Thank you for watching till the end. If you liked the video, please share it in your social networks, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.